And we are absolutely back, 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 back. I am demetralitALLday. This is the demetralitALLday channel, and welcome back. The headline in news right now is, of course, the school shooting that happened in Wisconsin on yesterday. The shooter has been identified as 15-year-old Natalie Rupp now. Also confirmed is the fact that she did indeed, or there is indeed, a manifesto circulating that's supposed to have been written by Natalie Rupp now, the shooter, now deceased at her own hand. So I did some digging because I really want to look at this manifesto. I want to see what the thoughts was. I want to see what the influence was. I'm just curious to know, what's in this so-called manifesto. Again, in my title, I said let's take a look, not verify, because it has not been officially verified yet, as far as when I see. However, um, this is what is a released on Reddit information. So let's take a look at that. Let's see here. And then I'm also going to look at, after I read the manifesto, then I'm going to also look at an article I found, whereas it breaks down and explains some of the meanings behind certain passages in this manifesto. Hold on, let's see. So this is a thread in Reddit I found. So this person claims that she has made contact with the alleged boyfriend of the Wisconsin shooter. He has graciously provided me with the full manifesto, which I verified by having him screen record himself open it from a direct link the shooter sent to him via WhatsApp. I told him I would do my best to dispel some of the information and present things as truthfully as I was giving him, and I will hold myself to that. Okay, and there's some facts. She was born female, not transgender. The boyfriend is male, not transgender. Her manifesto is titled War Against Humanity. Her manifesto is 6 pages long. In her manifesto, she spoke about having an extremely difficult relationship with her parents, who she referred to as scum. She also claims her family didn't love her or want her, and expresses feeling like the wrong child of her family. So it also says that she says she had planned to commit suicide a long time ago, but felt committing a shooting was better for evolution rather than just one stupid, boring suicide. She expresses deep admiration for Pekka Eric Alvinen, Arda Kusektium, and Vladislav Vazakov. Okay, excuse me for all that. But I'm going to look up these folks after I read it. She offered particular praise for the Kusiuman, who was a Turkish neo-Nazi who committed a mass attack in Eskişehir earlier this year, and stated he was an inspiration to her. She calls him an ultimate saint. I talked about this in my live before now. I said about I wonder if she idolized some of these other folks. She was all across the globe with her idolization. She expressed that she got weapons to commit the attack through lies, manipulation, and her father's stupidity. Okay, so that's supposedly this is a picture, and we've seen this picture. I showed it, as a matter of fact. The alleged boyfriend provided this picture and says that the one to the right is actually how the picture was, and he claims that the picture has been edited to make it look more. Oh, okay, Winter. Let me share this. Hey, Winter. I'm sorry, I was on the other screen. Let me share it. Child, I had this on my mind. Hey, watching. I had this on my mind, so I just got to get this done and over with so I can get back to regular business. But right now, this has got my attention. Thank you for letting me know it's not going out. Hey, Starbell, we are back. So I went to go look for this manifesto, and this is what I found so far. I haven't got into the manifesto yet. I was just reading some of the stuff from the Reddit thread. I'm very hesitant to post, but we're going to jump into this. I'm ready to jump into this manifesto. And then after I read it, it's 6 pages long. After we read it and look at it, I have another article pulled up that actually goes into trying to explain from a psychology type of aspect what all of it means, right? Or what it's meaning or pointing to. Hey, Tweety, hit the like, please. So let me make it a little bit bigger. Uh, why is it not making? Oh, there you go. Hold on 1 second while let y'all get in here and let me, because my notifications not going out. I hope this coffee got back hot. Damn. I think it was King Roman News. I think KRN was talking about somebody had bought him a coffee warmer. Ever since he said that, I've been thinking about that. I need to buy me a desktop coffee warmer. Like, seriously, keep my coffee hot when I'm talking and stuff. All right, so this doc from a child. Well, the shooter, Natalie Rupnoff, is a 15-year-old female, you know? And a lot of times with these type of personality stuff, when I say a lot of time, I'm just saying as far as a lot of times of what I know of. Child, I don't have no statistics, but I'm just making references from my bank of knowledge, right? But it seems like a lot of times these kids consider themselves to be prolific and learned and so aware. I mean, to the point where they make a lifelong permanent decision, right? So let's look at this alleged manifesto. Excuse me. It's titled War Against Humanity: The Creation of a Disaster and Why Is It So Unfair? Hatred, something everyone has gotten. In a sense, some people think it's pure nothing, but because of the hate they make, it ends up killing them without knowing it. Which, go right ahead, I don't mind, but kinda do at the same time. You are just simply nothing but scum to this world or to even think about. Nobody should want you or your body in any way. I hate seeing people on a daily basis just being so sensitive. Gives me one more reason to take off my glasses. The human scum is color and the way people are raised. I've grown around people who do not care or give one single care in the world and smoke their lungs out with weed or drink as much as they can, like my own father. Wow. I've grown to hate people and society. It's truly not my fault, though. It never was. But all of you and the world have done to me is pick and tease me. You pushed me into a corner with no help whatsoever. Hmm. Hmm. Humanity is filth, and I don't like filth, nor want to live in it, nor should anyone else. And I know it follows me and how it has followed me and will follow everyone because of how the world is run. There were so many things I wanted to do as a kid, yet I can admit I was afraid of the other kids. And also, even with my own parents, but I don't even trust them. And at that age, as well, I didn't, and I never will. My parents are scum. There is nothing that will save them to make me think good of them ever again. No family to ever trust and to never trust society. There is two people and only two people I will trust. One partially and one I would never doubt. I can agree that I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but neither did my parents or anyone around me. I have changed, and I will not go back to that ever again. I'm hardened. I'm different. I will not go back to that. Hold on one moment. Again. Hey, Cherise. This situation and the situation of a lifetime is a get the fuck out moment and don't come back. I would never go back and nag my way through life. It's not even my fault, though. It's everyone else's. It has to be theirs and not mine. It's pure idiotic from people to cause this, but it's a good thing that this happens. It always is, and there will be all, and there always, and there will always be a reason for this, and reasons for other shootings, unless it's some Indian guy who wanted to blow it up just for the fun of it, which is what those people do. I find that a bit funny. Not really funny to the point I'll laugh my ass off, but still. Maybe you get the point here, or maybe you don't. And I think it may be crazy. Child. This is the alleged manifesto of the 15-year-old girl shooter, Natalie Ruppnow, from yesterday in Wisconsin. Maybe you'll see me as a weirdo, a freak, just as some of you do now, but I'm not. I am not like the others. I would never ever want to be like them with how they think and what they do on a simple day. I hate how the population thinks, grows, and talks, and how they make romance fake. If only some days we could do a public execution. Ooh, that would be glad they need it. I wouldn't mind throwing some stones at idiots or even watching from the far back when they get hanged. Twitter can prove that for a fact, or so I think. And I think a lot more than some people think I do. Or maybe they don't think what I think because most people can't do what I'm doing, what I'm going to do. Okay. Death is something most people need to embrace and accept rather than running away from it. Child. Mm, mm. That's page one. Page two. Alleged manifesto. Once you know you'll be proven guilty on all charges and wish to be killed in any good way that is not simple and is more painful than anything, or at least I would hope on that behalf. Second section. The first section was I can't remember. This is revelation and population. The revolution, not revelation. The revolution should be well. The population should be well, but it's not, never will be. I want to change that, but will I truly? The population of scum has been worked over the years, as it did during the wars and fighting over what should be right and wrong. The sick people will dissolve into dust and be forgotten about. You will ruin the human population and turn into hordes of filth and beings that shouldn't live. Horrors and scum are things I hate the most and will always hate. You have no meaning. You and your parents should be hanged in front of everyone. Oh, not niggas. Niggas though. Niggers though. Worse. Once you sleep with one, you are one. I don't care who you think you are or what you've done good for the world, this world of yours. It will never matter because you will always have no thought and no brain to continue with. I hate looking at some of the people in the society and seeing what they are and what they do with their lives. Like, how does one do that? But I know how. Out of scum and just pure retardedness. I'm glad to be different and not the same as other people. I know how to be formal. I know how to use my words. Even if I get mad at you, there always has been a reason, whether or not I despise you or just because I can. Some of you guys really do deserve execution, punishment, rather painful or not. You deserve to be dead. But yet, doesn't the whole world deserve that? Child, The main target has been anyone with some sort of feeling or being of knowing any action to turn you wrong and left rather than the right and the better. Child. Either way, I will always hate humanity and it will never be overruled. If someday is so overruled, and I shall never see that day, and knowing how this world is and how everyone is scum of filth, nobody will ever overrule it. And all everyone will be is some worthless thing. And that's how she able to take other people's lives because she felt worthless and think other people are worthless. But move right along. Out of all out of all serious talk though, how everyone forces either religion on others or how some people just disobey the right from wrong and use the wrong for the worse. What I'm simply doing is not wrong one single bit. Maybe sure to some people due to his harmful studies, according to some people. The hate I get and the hate you get is mutual. You hate me, and I will always hate you as well, no matter what you've done to me. But you will always have a little place of hate. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think, though, nor would I really ever. I'd rather be dead than sit in a room all day, no matter if it's school, work, or even my own room, even if I like being alone. I will never be like anyone else and ruin my mind. I'm a part of the real thought and the real revolution. Hey, Lakendra, girl, reading this alleged manifesto, child, from the school shooter. This is gonna be page 3 of her manifesto. Terror of shooters and the right from wrong. Now, this is some of the people she idolized. 18-year-old Pekka Eric Arvinen. Sorry for the mispronunciation, child. November 7th. Started at 11:40 of 2007. 2 years before my birthday, on my birth date. Now, this is another, let me look them up real quick. This is another shooter, or let me see. Let me see how you spell. Let me Pekka Eric Arvin. Okay. Now, he did a school shooting as well. The Jokela, Jokel school shooting. Um, this happened on November 7, 2007 in Finland. He killed 8 people, wounded 1 person before he shot himself in the head. So, this is one of the people. So, let's put that together. 18-year-old Peckham, November 7th, that's the day of the shooting he did, started at 11:40 of 2007. So, she says this happened, that date was 2 years before her birthday, on her birth date. Okay. One true ideal of the so-called future. The future plan of revenge from his own inspiration and more leading more. True inspiration, a mind of thought passed on from what others rather than rotting like everyone else. Simply a guy who knew what he was doing and not ruining his life and just rather making the world a better place instead. Child. So that's one of the people she idolized, right? And she felt the connection with. Even though he did this in 2007, 2 years before she was even born. Okay, so let me look up this other person. Order Q, wait a minute. ARDAKUCU. Okay, let's see who this is. So the second person that she gonna talk about. Oh. Okay, so the second person with the same kind of picture I see. So the perpetrator of a knife attack in Eckershire that injured 5 people is attracting attention. So revealed during the interrogation. Hold on. So this is another detractor and another person who tried to go out and do. Okay. It said, quote, he talked about wanting to buy a weapon at his school and mentioned obtaining it through his family. He also suggested I make explosives. Okay, so this is another one of her. This is him right here with that mask on. 18-year-old order, also known as Screwy, August 12th at 6:25 p.m. of 2024. Approximately 126 days apart from my own ending. An ultimate saint, Death's maid, are not still willing to do what he did. A being of true nature and being a word of truth. Someone I was inspired by. Maybe I don't know him, but what would have stopped him from doing what was right and now proven to be a true form of being and simple hope. So another person she idolized. The third one here, it says 18-year-old Vladislav, whatever, October 17th at 11:40 a.m. of 2018. It says masterpiece of a price. So it's real funny how like she linked this first guy to 2 days before her birthday and found the connection. And then this second guy, she literally put approximately 126 days apart from my own ending, which would have been yesterday, which would have meant that, of course, that if this is a true document, that simply means that this would have been pre-planned. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to the next couple of pages. This is the next page. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see which one. Let me get to the next page. This is page 1, 2. No, that's 4 and 5. Hold on. Okay, this is the third page, right? Yeah, 1, 2. That was the third page. Let me get the fourth page. The fourth full page is right here. This is the fourth page. Let me make it a little bigger so y'all can see it. Am I sharing it? Let me come back to my StreamYard. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on the other pages doing this. Let me open up my phone. Hey, Mimi. Good afternoon. She killed herself. She unalived 2 other people, a teacher and a student, and injured what, like 6 more. So this is the fourth page of this alleged manifesto, right? So she's naming off her idols. Okay. I've looked into him since like this is that last guy. I've looked into him since like late 2021, 2022, and I've just realized how much potential bombs have. But it's not just that though. It's his strategy, his own method, and what led him to do it. And the fact he stuck to that. Some of his fangirls are like really strange though, in my opinion. But aren't like all fangirls? Child. There are others that I admire, or so I like to say, look up to, or find interesting. Otherwise, most are interesting to me. Unlike these retarded fag fucks who simp over them. Like, come on, just stop. Now, who these people is here? Like Eric Harris and Dylan Kilbo, Patrick Woods Gracious, Gerharmi Tashi, plus many more people. I wonder who them people is, y'all. Introduction to myself. My name is Samantha Rupnoff. I was born on November 7th of 2009, exactly 2 years after the Picas attack. Incredible, am I right? Nobody knows I'm doing this. I got the weapons by lies and manipulation and my father's stupidity. I planned on shooting myself a while ago, but thought maybe it's better for evolution rather than just one stupid, boring suicide, which hopefully I'll reach that point. I planned this myself and nobody else. I act alone. There would be no way to change what has happened. You can't, and you never will know. You never cared too much to know anything about me. I'm glad you don't know. Mm. So I'm gonna get to the fifth or sixth page. Hold on. Let me get to the fifth and sixth page. The last two pages, child. Let me see. This is the fifth and sixth page. Oh wow, this is the one. Okay, this look like it says a lot more personal stuff. Hold on, let me read this. Okay. Am I sharing this? Let me come over here real quick. So let me go back over here. Let me close some of the other pages. Hold on. So we on it's 6 pages. I just read the fourth. Okay, here we go. The fifth. I've always been a quiet kid, I'll say. Or at least that's what everyone else around me has said. And never really had the brains for most things because I wasn't smart enough for people around me, even though I'm good at science and some stuff. Nobody really looked at me in any good way in elementary or middle school, nor even high school right now. Doesn't matter much because I like being alone. Sometimes I just hate being picked on, but yet I mourn for friends, but sooner than later they'll leave. My therapist sucks. He's just some weak and fat guy who doesn't deserve everything he has now. Nobody deserves anything good. My so called family never included me because I was too weird for them. My father never treated me with respect. My father would always make me stand out in the worst possible way yet. Bring up how I failed school or can't get out of bed simply because I don't want to leave. He makes me look like a freak to his family and friends. He says so much, but look at his bad side. My parents divorced quite a few times, which didn't help me at all, but not didn't help me at all, but not did it really affect me. It just made me a little lonely because nobody was there for me and never really has been. My mother tried overdosing when I was around 12. One moment. Sorry, y'all. One moment. All right, y'all. I had to take that call. Yeah, so it seems like she was in therapy. Now, this is the alleged manifesto, so we shall see if it gets confirmed. But hey, where we was at? Talk about the mom right here. This is where we at. My mother tried overdosing when I was around 12 or something. I don't care if she would have survived or died from it, but yet she was still here. Doesn't mean she actually was in my life. Well, she lonely. I see my parents as failures for everything they've done to me and just kind of fucking with my life. There never was helpful advice given to me. It was all bullshit. The world itself is bullshit, to be fair, though. So why should I or you see so much in it? I've never really liked my father, to be exact, because honestly, why should I? Our hate is mutual to each other. He will never see me as his daughter. He will never love me like he loved his ex or her kids, or even alcohol. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore because nobody heard me out and just made fun of me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I've been trapped and forced into my corner. I hate this corner that I'm stuck in. I hate humanity for forcing me into this little hole. I once had this time when I was young. You made me dig for so long, and now I can't leave it, but only look up at your smiles laughing at me. I honestly don't remember how old I was. I know I was young, but yet I remember everything that still happened because it happens every once in a while. Never have I once brought this up to a therapist, anyone, because nobody cared at that time, nor will now. I saw things around me and I laid on the floor and not being able to move. I was overwhelmed and tired, hard breath. Things around me felt bigger than usual, and I was faint. Once in a while, I get that same feeling, just I know how to control it. That one night I begged for my mother to help me. But she was in the next room to me in her apartment where she was with her boyfriend. Awake, cause all I heard was her walking right past me in my room. I was the wrong child of the family. My parents admit they didn't want me, nor never did. Even if I've grown, I'm always the one who sat out or sat in another room because they didn't want to interact with me at any point in time. Then I stayed in my room all day, during the day and night, and after and before school as well. Oh, wow. Last page. Doesn't help that school was a pain in my ass while getting teased and pushed around. I always got picked on for being out of pocket as if the quietness was out of pocket for them and just too odd or something. I moved schools. What's already happening? Picked on again, just not any worse. I know this will happen anywhere and any time in my life, but it's annoying. I'm starting to realize you will all die and perish and be forgotten in 20 years or less. Your family will think you are a disappointment. As the hate I have for you now isn't enough, I want to hate I want to hate to tear you apart, but yet won't happen because you are the reason hate is a thing and will always continue to be a thing. I am not hate. I am simply pointing this out. You and the system will always suck. Therefore, we need a revolution. Nobody understands that though. Nor do people understand the fact that they probably sat next to me in class and never thought a single word about me, nor ever really thought to. I don't really care though, to be honest. Nobody really has. The wolf hunts its prey and continues life with no bruises or scars. There is no predator and prey anymore. It is all filth walking. There's nothing more with filth. It cannot die or make hunts real if only they want women. There's nothing more than filth. It simply cannot die or make hunts real if only they want its value. And in the last line of this, it says, finally, one learns that boredom is a disease of civilization. Child. Very, very interesting, right? So I heard a lot of different things. I hear loneliness, I hear alienation, I hear being bullied, I hear um some type of family problems, right? A severe disdain for both her father and mother. It seems like heavily on the father's side of it. Um, it seems like she's been ignored. So what I have here, that's just what I can get from my reading of it. Now, I also saw this. Now that I came across this article before I read that. So now that I've read the alleged manifesto, now I want to really look at this article here. This article, it was saying it kind of breaks down what the key factors in that manifesto, right? So it says content of the manifesto. Excuse me. The alleged War Against Humanity manifesto, what I just read, is an unsettling multi-page document filled with grievances, dark reflections, and ominous declarations. The manifesto reveals not only deep personal struggles, but also a deliberate and premeditated justification for her violent actions. Very premeditated, right? So this is one thing I definitely can point out, or I definitely recognize this in that what I just read. So it says familial and social alienation. Rupnow, that's the shooter, described a profound sense of emotional neglect and rejection from her family, writing that her parents viewed her as a mistake they never wanted. She portrayed herself as an outsider both at home and school, writing, "They look at me but don't see me. I am invisible until I do something they can't ignore." Rupnow's resentment towards her classmates were equally evident. She accused peers of ridiculing her differences and isolating her further, describing them as part of the disease called humanity. Exactly. She was very much so. If this is to be true, right? If that writing is her writing and that's what it is, she definitely felt apart. So much to the point that she even separated herself. She stayed in her room. When everybody be in one room, she would be in the other room. And like she said about her classmates, just by her being quiet, how is that a problem for you? How does that make me, to be picked on? Is what I read. So she definitely felt alienated. I definitely picked up on that. Hatred for society, absolutely. She think of society as scum, filth. Hatred for society. A recurring theme throughout the manifesto is Rupnow's disdain for societal norms and values. She criticized societal expectations, consumerism, and what she called false morality, blaming humanity for creating a world of cruelty, hypocrisy, and exploitation. She referred to herself as a soldier against the plague of mankind. And that part right there is like that grandiose, right? That grandiosity, that sense of being bigger than, right? And it's kind of like it's real interesting how in one breath a person can feel so small, so not important, so invisible, and at the same breath, they also feel bigger than, right? And there's the all knowing, and there's like almost like a savior, right? And full of power. You got to have, I guess, when you're feeling powerless, to have the ability to take somebody else's life and make a decision for them gives you that fake sense of power, right? That's needed. Oh, look, that's the next part. That's the next part. Retribution and power. That's trip. Rupp now justified her actions as a final statement against a world that she believed had failed her. She wrote, "If the world doesn't care that I exist, it will care when I don't." The shooting, according to her writings, was an attempt to reclaim control over her life, which she described as dominated by feelings of powerlessness. Mm-hmm. Suicidal ideation. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? With a twist. While Rumlau had contemplated suicide for years, she expressed a desire to make her death mean something. She rejected the idea of dying quietly and wrote, "A life wasted in silence is a death that changes nothing. I want them to remember me, to feel what I felt." Mm-mm-mm. Rupnow's social media presence painted a chilling picture of her mindset leading up to the shootings. Her accounts, mostly private or pseudonyms, were littered with troubling posts, dark imagery, and cryptic messages that hinted at her escalating despair over the disturbing content. Over the months leading up to the attack, her posts increasingly featured themes of death, revenge, and societal collapse. Images of firearms, violent memes, and nihilistic quotes were frequent. She shared captions like, "The quiet ones always strike the loudest," and "I'm not broken, I'm what you made me." See, these are these things, that you have to, I mean, like literally, all this putting stuff off to teenage angst or apathy. No, 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 no. We have to actually look into these things. You can't just say, "Oh, that's just a teenager being a teenager." No, you know. Manifesto teasers. Investigators have noted that Rupp now dropped hints about her manifesto in cryptic posts. Phrases like the countdown has begun and they'll know what I mean when the times come appeared shortly before the attack. These posts, while ominous in retrospect, were largely dismissed at the time as dark teenage musings. I don't think I would dismiss something like that. I don't think no teenager, they'll know what I mean when the time comes to call. I don't think I'll keep seeing that kind of stuff and saying, oh, that don't mean nothing. I'm just saying. A cry for recognition. Rupnow's activity revealed a complex need for validation and recognition. Recognition, very much so. She often posted about feeling unseen and unheard, writing, I am a shadow, but I will make them see me. Friends and followers reportedly noticed a shift in her tone weeks before the attack, describing her post as angrier and colder than usual. Well, if you seen that weeks before the attack and you notice a change and you feeling her tone, what did y'all do? What did y'all say? Who did y'all tell? Oh my God. Manifesto insights, her motivations. Rupnow's writings paired with her online behavior point to a toxic mix of personal grievances, anger, and existential despair that fueled her actions. So some of those feelings are feelings of rejection. Her sense of alienation, both at home and in school, formed the core of her bitterness. She wrote of being unloved, unseen, and unwanted. Hatred for humanity. She blamed society at large for her struggles, viewing humanity as a virus that deserved punishment. Desire for control. Her writings reveal an obsession with taking back control in a life where she felt powerless. Violence, she believed, would give her the voice she never had. Need for recognition. She appeared determined to ensure she was remembered, writing that her actions would etch her name into the minds of ignorant. I said that earlier. I said that earlier in my live reaction. I was like, she definitely wants to be remembered. She knows that she has a very special place now in folk, pop culture, right? And it'll go on in what they call it, hmm, how do you say that? I'll come back to that thought, right? But she knows that she's very much the very first, and she's gonna always have that. Nobody else can be the first United States female school shooter. Nobody else can be that. 10 years from now, three more from now, God forbid, nobody else can be the first. She is the first. She has absolutely etched her name. Nihilism and despair. Throughout the manifesto, Rupp now expressed deep existential despair, believing the world was irredeemable and that her death would be the only freedom. Now that part right there, right? That is that grandiosity, right? For those delusions of grandeur, right? The delusions of grandeur that that you think way too highly of yourself. Because at this point in time, thinking that her death would be the only freedom, I kind of find it hard to, I think, hey, I'm not a professional. I'm just giving my insight and my perspective and my point of view. I think some of it, I think is underlying all the different feelings, the despair, the loneliness, the alienation, the tease, the bully, the all that stuff. I absolutely believe, obviously, all of that. But I also think by the way she wrote her manifesto, it's also like a flowing, like a poem, almost like a poem, right? It flows and it does. So I think some of it, like the fact that she say her death would be the only freedom, I think that's more like poetic, right? Poetic rather than um an actual belief, right? I don't believe that she believed that her death would be the world's only freedom. Hey, Joy, I just don't believe that. But I do believe that in some places, that it was absolutely written in an artistic type of way, in a poetic type of way. It was very easy to read, even, almost like in a, and that was my first time even looking at it, and I was able to read it kind of in a poetic type of, you know, yeah. In hindsight, the warning signs were clear but tragically ignored. Her dark and violent social media posts, cryptic writings, and noticeable changes in behavior was dismissed by friends. So I did all that. I read all that. So that's what we have here. I was very, very, very curious into what this manifesto would be like, right? And again, this is alleged. It has not been, as far as when I hit live, it hadn't been verified or authenticated, but it is talking all the major news deals that they do have a manifesto floating around. So that much we do know. So I find it interesting. I find it interesting how, I was just, it's not like I have to be right. I think she wrote it. I think she wrote it. It definitely, I think it's definitely in the tone and in voice, so say, of a 15-year old going through those type of problems and stuff. I don't think it's definitely written um in a teenage voice and hand. I definitely believe that. You know, I definitely think um I know it matches some of the things, or the thoughts I was having earlier with you guys, like when I said that she probably idolized former school shooters, and she did. If this is her writing, you know she named out three different ones. And then also what's real significant to me is how she found these connections with them, right? Like that first guy, you know his school shooting was 2 years and to the date of her birthday. And so therefore she felt like there was some type of connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a connection. This is telling me that this is destined. This is what's supposed to happen. And, I am right. LaKendra says, just like she idolized someone she's picked, someone maybe years later will have her as an idol. Oh, absolutely. The next girl. God forbid. But the next girl. you know it's girls right now who feel this, that feel alienated, isolated, and picked on, like they on the outskirts, right? Like they on the fringe of things, right? It's girls right now who feel and already idolizing her, like, dang, she was just like me, she got picked on like me. She, what I'm saying, they thought she was weird like they think me. Joy says, I don't get where all this overlooked pain comes from from for these teens. At 15, all I wanted to know was why Big Lipped Howard kept staring at me. I kind of went through like the little um um I kind of went through, I can kind of recognize, like, I remember about being 15, 14, where I went through this weird little phase of feeling like overly dramatic, right? Like overly dramatic, so misunderstood, so by myself, so different from everybody else. And oh, the world doesn't get me. I definitely went through that moment. But I also consider myself like, I also was one of them kids that are sitting and write like overly dramatic poems about how life is this and life is that, and oh my God, and oh da da da, I don't remember now. I don't remember. Hey, I don't remember being no person who wanted to commit no suicide. I wasn't the type of person, never thought about hurting nobody else, nothing like that. Absolutely not. It wasn't. It wasn't to the point of any. But then, But hey, the whole point. Guess what? The key thing that I just said about my experience with that is that I said I went through a phase, right? Not that I always felt. I hadn't always been alienated. I didn't have a problem fitting in, right? I didn't have a problem being accepted. I wasn't just picked on. I wasn't just teased. I chose to be dramatic. I chose to separate myself, but those was choices. I can't even imagine that having been just my reality. If that makes sense. It's like it's kind of hard to imagine when that's not your story, right? Like, you know, just like now, like I do my own thing. I'm solo dolo, I'm just a D, I don't want to be, but if I wanted to be connected and hang in groups and stuff like that, I would be accepted. D, I want to see your high school pic. Was you doing the most? Girl, was I doing the most? I was a nerd. I showed y'all my picture before. I had to find it for you, child. I wasn't doing the most because I was kind of like, that's what I was just describing. I mean, I don't know. I always had this, I'm the type of person, I have like one or two friends, right? Or what I mean by that is I could just, I'll have like one friend at a time or some shit. I never did like groups. Like groups. Like I had no desire to be part of a group, a clique, none of that kind of stuff, right? So I don't know. And you got to remember, I got pregnant at 15. Okay. I got pregnant at 15. So you either Cherise. So there goes like, there goes my childhood. You know what I'm saying? I was already, like I always say, I've been a mama all my life. Like seriously, I didn't get to experience like a lot of different stuff because of my choices. Or should I say my, no, that's right. I didn't get to experience a lot of things. And at the same time, um, I experienced a whole lot of stuff because of the choices. I don't know why my notification not going out. Ember name, welcome back. I also have six sisters, and they kind of wrap you up so that the outside world didn't have a big influence on my everyday emotions. One go, we all go, right? And I got a little sister, So I don't know. My personality is that I I just like to be solo dolo, and in my own thoughts and stuff and doing my own little thing. But that's different from being an outcast. That's totally different. There's totally different things. I don't feel like in Renee. I read the alleged. You have to go back if you know on it. I read the alleged manifesto of the school shooter, and it was real sad. It was real sad. It's sad that a 15-year-old would feel that way. You know, it's sad that a 15-year-old can be so hopeless and allowed to, and that they allowed that is. That nobody noticed it. You know what I'm saying? That nobody noticed it. I mean, dang. At some point in time, you have to be able. You need to notice something. I mean, if nothing else, if you know your kid kind of different or something, right? Or quirky, or you know, I would think you would notice that your kid don't have too many friends. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they have to have a lot of friends or be a social butterfly, but at least one or two people that they can build a connection with, you know? And if they don't have that type of deal, that should stand out to you. That should stick. I would think that would stand out to you. It would stick out to me. Damn, my kid don't have no friends. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? Or, ask him about it. Ask her about it. I don't know. It's just real sad. It's real sad, and quite honestly, um, when I did the live reaction, when I paid attention to it this morning, because yesterday I was just busy at this computer working on my own stuff, right? And so when I actually start listening to the news story this morning, ever since then I've been just sitting here like this has just been on my mind since I first saw that it was a girl, till I went live, till I got off the live, I started digging and doing. I wanted to read this manifesto. I wanted to know her thoughts. And now that I know her thoughts, it's interesting. It's interesting and sad. And it's sad for the family too. And you know what? This is very cryptic. Let me I wonder what this means. Let me go to one part that made me say, what is she saying right here? When she says about the room, let me see. And her mama was in the next room. Is that some type of abuse or something? Hold on. Hold on, let me see. And then this one right here. This part right here really kind of, let me share it. Okay, so this part really stands out to me, which is kind of cryptic, right? She was white. So it says, I've been trapped and forced into my corner. I hate this corner that I'm stuck in. I hate humanity for forcing me into this little hole. I once had this time when I was young. You made me dig for so long, and now I can't leave it, but only look up at your smiles laughing at me. I honestly don't remember how old I was. I know I was young, but yet I remember everything that still happened because it happens every once in a while. Never have I once brought this up to a therapist, anyone, because nobody cared at that time, nor will now. I saw things around me and I laid on the floor, not being able to move. I was overwhelmed and tired, hard breath. Things around me felt bigger than usual, and I was faint. Once in a while, I get that same feeling. Just now, I know how to control it. That one night, I begged for my mother to help me, but she was in the next room to me in her apartment where she was with her boyfriend, awake because all I heard was her walking right past me in my room. I was the wrong child of the family. My parents admit they didn't want me, nor never did, even if I've grown. I'm always the one who sat out or sat in another room because they didn't want to interact with me at any point in time. Then I stayed in my room all day during the day and at night and after and before school as well. So it's just interesting to me that part where she's saying about like, I dug a hole for myself. The world put me in this corner. I'm in this place. I feel small. I'm in a hole. Like I'm feeling down. She actually says, I look up at your smiles laughing at me, right? So she's feeling lowered in, right? And then she's also, I think this is kind of, if this is truly her, if this is her, the true manifesto, if it's validated, right, authenticated, I would really want to know what she's referring to that happened to her when she was little. Because she's saying, I honestly don't remember how old I was. I know I was young, but I still remember everything. And then when she says that, I'm going to see. I was overwhelmed, tired. Things around me felt bigger than usual. It's almost like an out of body type of deal, right? Like sometimes like that disassociation when you having some type of traumatic or abuse, traumatic situation going on where you almost looking at yourself outside of yourself. That's what it sounds like she's describing right here when she says, I saw things, I saw things around me and I laid on the floor, not being able to move. I was overwhelmed and tired. Hard breath. Things around me felt bigger than usual, and I was faint. I would really, I just, mm, mm. I want them to hurry up and verify. the manifesto. I want them, everybody, all the talking heads, I want them to come and start giving all their insight and what they think and stuff like that. I want to hear all of the experts and their analysis, you know. I really do. I'm very interested in it. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like true crime, for me, the reason why I'm such a true crime enthusiast is because I'm always fascinated with people, right? With their motivations and their thought processes, you know what I'm saying? And their experiences. I'm always fascinated with it and how it comes out and how it displays itself. So this is something, yes, I want to hear all the experts and what they say and what they think and how they break it down. So yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't came out here 2 times with this sad stuff today. I'm sorry. But this is interesting. I'm finna go take me a nap. Okay. Thank y'all for reading this with me and talking about it with me. Let me know if you catch us on the replay your thoughts. And we shall see what keep coming out in the news. Until then, y'all be blessed. Tell your friends and tell your children you love them.